Reverend Dr. Dan Adis, and NAMSA Planning Committee.
I want to use this opportunity to invite you to Taraba State, the Nature's Gift to the Nation, for the 2025 Taraba State International Investment Summit called Taravest. The summit will bring together top stakeholders from government, businesses, and global players to promote strategic investment opportunity in Taraba State. We welcome all Nigerians and investors from all over the world as we showcase the abundant investment opportunities our state, the Nature's Gift to humanity, has to offer.
Taravest is a global convergence of top international, government, and private sector stakeholders for sustainable business partnership in Taraba State. Theme: Unlocking Taraba's investment potentials, advancing agriculture, energy, mining, and industrialization for sustainable growth and development. Date: Wednesday, May 21, 2025 in Jalingo, Taraba State. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Taravest, showcasing Taraba, Africa's new investment.
Welcome to Business Daily on SOM TV, the pulse of the nation, where you bring you the heartbeat of Nigeria economy and business landscape. Nigeria business pulse be strong every day, and we're here to keep you in tune. Get ready to tap into the rhythm of this and discover the hidden gem of Nigerian business landscape in Taraba State, where nature's bounty meets investment opportunity. You're welcome to invest in Taraba State and unlock the potential of Nigeria's agricultural and tourism sector. Here are the major headlines. Come to Taraba, invest in Taraba. Exclusive investment documentary airs on SOM TV from May 14 to 21. Share pays Nigeria $5.34 billion in taxes and charges for 2024. Access Holdings to boost interim dividends by 122% in 2025. Nigeria Exchange All-Share Index rises 0.37% as Nestle Honeyflower leads gainers. Now the news in full. A groundbreaking documentary series, Come to Taraba, Invest in Taraba, premieres May 14, 2025 at 8 p.m. on SOM TV. This special 7-day broadcast is proudly brought to viewers by the Taraba State Ministry of Information and Reorientation as part of a strategic initiative to attract local and foreign investors to the state. The documentary showcases the vast and untapped investment potential spread across the 16 local government areas of Taraba State, from the rich cultural landscapes of Karilamido and Bali to the scenic tourism prospect in Gashaka and Sardauna. This series provides an in-depth look into the opportunities that await visionary investors. Viewers can expect a thought-provoking visual journey highlighting the state's diverse resources, serene environment, and growing infrastructure, all of which makes Taraba a prime destination for investment. The series is produced by Olayinka Gabriel, directed by Shamaki Andekin, and the executive producer is Barrister Zainab Usman Jalingo, Commissioner of Information Reorientation, Taraba State. This documentary is more than a showcase, it's a call to action for investors, entrepreneurs, and policymakers to turn their focus to Taraba State. And you can follow this event on SOM TV, on Facebook at SOM TV, on TikTok at SOM TV Live, and on YouTube at SOM TV Live. Now for the rest of the stories. Multinational energy company Shell PLC has revealed that it paid a staggering $5.34 billion to the Nigerian government in 2024, marking the highest amount remitted to any country globally. According to Shell annual payments to government report, Nigeria topped the company's list of government recipients, surpassing countries like Oman, Brazil, and Norway. The payment breakdown shows that $3.8 billion went to the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, $685 48.7 million to the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) and $781.9 million to the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. This significant contribution is part of the 28.1 billion Shell disbursed globally to governments for extractive activities in 2024, representing a 5% decline for the previous year. Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) $3.8 billion, 71% of total payment. Federal Inland Revenue Service $687.7 million. Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission $781.9 million naira. The revenue implications show that Shell divestment strategy aims to simplify its portfolio and support its net zero emissions goal by 2050 while retaining deepwater oil and gas operation in Nigeria. And Shell paid a total of $28 billion to governments worldwide, with Oman, Brazil, and Norway receiving $4.3 billion, $4.5 billion, and $3.38 billion, respectively. Access Holding PLC has pledged to increase its interim dividend payouts by 122% in 2025, promising to pay ₦1 per share. The commitment follows pressures from stakeholders during the company's third annual general meeting on May 15, 2025. The acting group CEO Bolaji Agbede assured stakeholders that the bank will deliver on its promise, highlighting the sustainability of its income base across subsidiaries in Africa and beyond. Interim dividend increase shows a 122% rise from 45 kobo paid in 2024, marking a record interim payout for the bank. 2024 dividends shows a 202 naira 50 kobo per share, comprising of 2 naira 05 final dividends and 45 kobo interim dividend, translating to 125.29 billion naira total payout. Now, the outside holdings total dividends implies an 11.36% yield and 19.51% payout ratio, reflecting efforts to return value to investors despite economic challenges. Now, for the financial performance, 642.2 billion naira profit after tax in 2024, up 3.7% from 2023, with Q1 2025 profit increasing 40.7% year-on-year to 182.75 billion naira. Access Holdings has outlined a 3-year roadmap focused on geographical consolidation, operational efficiency, innovation, and investment management. The Nigerian stock market closed higher on May 15, 2025, with the oil share index advancing 0.37% to 109,467.64 points. This growth was driven by notable gains in consumer goods stocks, particularly Nestle and Olive Flour, which both surged 10%. The market capitalization also increased to 68.8 trillion naira, reflecting continued possible price action. The oil share index has it at it as 109,467.64 points, which is a 0.37 increase. Market capitalization stands at 68.8 trillion naira. Trading volume stands at 729.8 million shares, up from 531.2 million shares. And the top gainers are Honeywell, 10% increase to 16 naira 50 kobo, while Nestle 10% increase to 1,331 naira. Now, for the trading activity, FCMB traded 203 million shares, while Fidelity Bank 43.4 million shares traded. The market outlook shows that the oil share index steady gains suggests potential momentum to push the index higher in the coming sessions, driven by mid and large cap stocks. Benue State has recorded a staggering food inflation rate of 51.8% year-on-year in April 2025. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, This sharp rise from 23.3% in March 2025 is attributed to insecurity disrupting farming activities, causing supply shortages and driving up food prices. The all items inflation rate in Benue was 34.3% in April, up from 20.8% in March, with monthly all item inflation accelerated by 12.8%. For the food inflation, 51.8% year-on-year increase in Benue, highest in Nigeria, while the 25.6% month-on-month rise in food prices. Ongoing violence and attacks on farmers have disrupted farming activities, reducing output and driving up prices. Nigeria headline inflation is to 23.71% year-on-year in April 2025, while food inflation was 21.26% lower than Benue's figures, soaring food prices threatening to exacerbate poverty and malnutrition in Benue, with many households likely to reduce food consumption or opt for less nutritious alternatives. Nigeria's inflation rate is slightly to 23.71% in April 2025, with varying economic burdens across states. Now, here are the top 10 most expensive states to live in Nigeria, based on the latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. Our ranking number 1 is Enugu with a 36.0% annual inflation rate, with food inflation at 24.4% and monthly food prices rising by 3.9%. Coming second is Kebbi with 35.1% headline inflation rate, with food inflation at 33.8%, a monthly increase of 4.3% for food and 5.4% for all items. Niger State has a 34.8% headline inflation rate, with food inflation at 24.3% and significant monthly changes of 14.7% rise in all items and 5.7% rise in food prices. Benue State has a 34.3% headline inflation rate, with staggering 51.8% year-on-year food inflation, indicating severe food insecurity or disruption. Ekiti State has a 34% balanced inflation across categories, with both food and all items rising by 16.7% and 11% monthly. Number 6 on the list is Nasarawa with 33.3% all items inflation rate, with food inflation at 23.3% and monthly surge of 16% in overall prices and 7.4% in food prices. Zamfara has 33.2% headline inflation rate, with food inflation at 24% and moderate monthly increases. On number 8 comes Abuja with 32.9% annual inflation rate, with food inflation at 22.2% and striking monthly decline of minus 0.7% in food prices. Delta is at number 9 with 31.9% annual inflation rate, with food inflation at 15.9% and monthly food inflation growing by just 2.2%. Sitting at number 10 is Gombe State with 31% year-on-year inflation rate for all items, with food inflation at 26.4% and monthly price rises at 9.0% across all items and 5.8% for food. The state experienced significant inflationary pressures, squeezing household budgets, especially for food, housing, and energy. Targeted economic policies addressing regional disparities are crucial to mitigate the impact on consumers. The House of Representatives Committee on National Planning and Economic Development has cautioned the federal government, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, against raising interest rates beyond the current 27.5% in a bid to curb inflation. This warning comes ahead of the CBN's 300th Monetary Policy Committee meeting scheduled for next week. Chairman of the committee, Gboyega Nasiri Isiaka, expressed concern that high interest rates have negatively impacted the manufacturing, agriculture, and small and medium enterprise sectors, which are significant employers of labor. He emphasized the need for caution, citing structural bottlenecks and supply chain inefficiencies that may undermine the policy effectiveness. Meanwhile, the National Bureau of Statistics reported a drop in the unemployment rate to 4.3% in the second quarter of 2024, down from 5.3% in the previous quarter. However, employment remains higher among females, which is 5.1%, and young people 6.5%. The MPC, comprising 12 members, including the CBN governor, monitors key indicators such as inflation rate, which is currently above target, and GDP growth, which is economic expansion, and the Naira performance against foreign currencies. We also check the coordination between fiscal and monetary authorities. The lawmakers' caution reflects concern about the impact of our interest rates on economic growth and employment generation. Airtel Africa has released its full year 2025 financial report, revealing a significant turnaround with a pre-tax profit of $661 million compared to a pre-tax loss of $63 million in 2024 financial year. Profit after tax stood at $328 million, improving from a $89 million loss in the prior period. And 21.1% growth in constant currency, despite a 0.5% decline in reported currency due to currency devaluation. 88.7% growth to 166.1 million customers, with data subscribers rising 14.1% to 73.4 million. And we also have a 10.1% increase in constant currency, with margins recovering to 47.3% in Q4 2025. Airtel Africa remains the most valuable stock on the Nigerian exchange, with a market capitalization of 8.11 trillion naira. The federal government, through the Bank of Agriculture, have launched a plan to recover over $20 billion in debt owed to the bank. The initiative, dubbed Operation Recover All, aims to appeal to debtors to repay their loans and pave the way for new funding opportunities. The Bank of Industry plans to send letters to debtors appealing for repayment and warning of enforcement action for non-compliance. The bank is set to receive a 1 trillion naira capitalization fund, with plans to leverage its balance sheet to support more value chains in the agricultural sector. The Board of Industry aims to support 40 to 70 million farmers, promoting agriculture as a business and increase the yields from 1 ton per hectare to 9 tons per hectare. The bank plans to digitalize its operations, enabling fast access to capital for farmers and stakeholders. Nigeria has officially become a member of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD, marking a significant step in the country's effort to attract global capital and private investment. The move is part of President Tinubu's Renew Hope agenda, a reform program aimed at promoting economic growth and development. As some of the membership benefits include access to EBRD's investment toolkit, with over 80% targeting the private sector in sectors like energy, agriculture, infrastructure, and digital innovation. Nigeria's membership reflects its commitment to building a transparent, rules-based economy that unlocks private investment and accelerates inclusive growth. Membership is expected to pave the way for increased capital flows into key sectors of Nigeria's economy, particularly for institutional and impact investors. Nigeria's admission to the EBRD adds credibility to its reform narrative and demonstrates its commitment to multilateral engagement. That's all on today's edition of Business Daily. But before we go, here's a recap of the major story. Come to Taraba, Invest in Taraba exclusive investment documentary airs on Some TV from May 14 to 21. Share pays Nigeria $5.34 billion in taxes and charges for 2024. Access holdings to boost interim dividends by 122% in 2025. Nigeria Exchange All Share Index rises 0.37% as Nestle Honeywell leads gainers. Don't forget to join us tonight by 8 p.m. for an exclusive investment documentary on Taraba State. And please remember to invest in Taraba State today and be part of Nigeria's growth story. Until next time, stay ahead of the curve with Sun TV, the pulse of the nation. I am Abraham Manajuda. Good afternoon.
Come to Taraba.
Where are my Taraba people? Where would I day?